At this school in Yorkshire, things are changing.
As we know, people, Northerners, we're proper rate clever, aren't we, Jade?
There's a new head teacher.
Quite scared of you, sir.
Good, keep it that way.
With a new plan.
I came to this school knowing exactly what I wanted to achieve. Yes, improve exam results. Yes, make behaviour better. But the most important thing for me is that alongside everything else that we give them, they walk out of here as decent human beings who are ready for the world. And if that doesn't happen, we have failed them.
But when you're dealing with teenagers, life's never straightforward.
Did you stamp on his head?
I don't know. I might have done.
Right, thank you.
We filmed over a year to find out what life is really like in one of our secondary schools.
There comes a tipping point. I'm going to have to ask him to leave.
For good.
For the teachers...
Yes! Let's have a massive yes 7-4.
And the kids.
If he doesn't apologise, he's going to spend the rest of his natural life in detention.
At the very start of adult life.
Like my eyebrows. Should have done my eyebrows on.
Well, the Academy's head teacher, Johnny Mitchell, is here. Mr. Mitchell.
No, Johnny's OK at this time of the morning, I think. Bill, thank you.
Fascinating programme. It struck me watching the first episode, which goes out tomorrow night, that you're not so much a head teacher as a sheriff.
It's a good point, I think. I suppose I could call myself a sheriff. I'm quite new to the role. I've only been doing the role 2 years, and I'm a new head teacher, taking on my first headship. And I suppose you have to set your stall out, you have to show everybody what your vision is and what your values are. So I do spend a lot of time, I suppose, firefighting.
Big risks doing it on television, though?
A mitigated risk, I think, because obviously there's the experience of Educating Essex, which was a resounding success in most quarters, I think, and we spoke quite extensively to Vic Goddard, the head down at Passmore's, who gave us a lot of reassurances. So we wanted to get our message out there that we're good, we're proud of what we do, and our kids are fabulous.
How many parents, teachers, pupils were worried about this?
There were quite a number that were worried initially.
Because they didn't all have to be on camera if they didn't want to be,
nobody was forced to be on camera, and anybody that didn't want to feature was given the opportunity to opt out, and that's staff, students, and obviously some parents have strong views about it as well. But we're talking about in the teens out of a student body of about 750. So
what does the school get out of this kind of exposure? You can see what the damage it could do, certainly, but where's the benefit for you?
Well, I think the benefit is that we are good, we're proud of what we do. The kids are great, the staff are great, and we're doing well. And I think it's got to be coupled with the fact that we're in a town that's had a lot of bad press. And I'm Dewsbury born and bred as well, so I have a vested interest there. So we get the benefit of putting a positive message out about the town and the district and the north, I suppose, to an extent, because obviously the last programme was in the south. But I am still an undersubscribed school, and I'd be lying if I didn't say that it was a marketing initiative as well, because schools can spend phenomenal amount of money trying to get marketing in local newspapers.
But you might get a lot of parents who look at it and say, however good a job you're doing, say, gosh, I don't like the look of that, I'm not going to send my kid there.
They may well say that. My response to that would be that we are representative of pretty much all schools up and down the country, and the deal is not going to be much different in many of the other schools. What we've got is the warmth, the humour and the compassion that I think shines through from the programmes.
Did it show you anything surprising? Did you see anything in your school that you thought, I didn't really think that was happening?
Not really, but with having ambient microphones and personal mic packs and cameras in corners of the school that we don't always walk around on a daily basis, you hear kids doing and saying things that you wouldn't normally hear in the normal course of events. So you think, oh crikey, I didn't realise that sort of thing happened, or I didn't realise that they had that opinion about this or that opinion about that. But obviously you've got to remember that we didn't use any of that footage to discipline or to find out things that were going on. We've not seen anything until well after all the cameras have been taken away. So you find out little quirky little things and things that people think, but I don't think we really were surprised by anything that we saw, and we thought it was a good representation.
It's amazing the focus that they managed to get, just looking at where all the cameras are. Were their cameras just tucked away everywhere?
They were dotted around offices, so my office, deputy head's office, assistant head's offices, some classrooms, quite a lot of the corridors. There's some areas of school that we didn't touch simply because it's a pretty big site, and obviously there's cost implications there for the production company. But they were dotted around pretty much everywhere. But there were only ever 3 in operation at any one time.
There's quite a buzz about it, I imagine, in the school, because it's on tomorrow night,
something like that. I mean, it's getting really quite close now, and obviously nobody can expect the media hype that might come with it, and you go into this expecting that there will be some media interest, and then you think,
because but there's a boy in the first episode who gets into trouble a lot.
He does.
A lot.
Yeah.
And it's very clear who he is. We see you talking to him repeatedly.
Yeah.
And you think, well, actually, what's the impact going to be on him?
I think it'll have a really positive impact. He's seen the programme. Obviously, it's part of the measures that are put in place to make sure everybody, because we're working with under-16s at the end of the day, so we have to protect them. He's seen the programme. He's happy with it. His parents think it's a really good representation of what he's like. I think it will do him good to actually see himself on national television misbehaving and being challenged about it. He'll think, I need to change, I've got a chance. That kid, bad as he might be, will still be in my school at the end of year 11.